my veins. On the pitch, where the glory remains. The cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground. Echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time. We march on through grit and grime. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire.
Yes, and good morning, good evening, good evening, yeah, good afternoon, and welcome to THFC 2 with Die Home, top past present, and an exciting future, of course, under the mighty Chirpy the Cockerel, because everything else at Tottenham has fallen around us, a bit like a building that was built by Bob the Builder. It really is. It's one of those days, isn't it? You've got Vinay blaming Levy, you've got Tudor swearing in a press conference, you've got players that are upset with Tudor, you've got players that don't want to play for Tudor, and the only ones that are hurting are the fans, and it's us. And we've got a few things to go through. Tequila will be joining me. He's running a few minutes late, so he said he will be on. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it, guys, if I'm totally honest? And the best thing I heard today, right, the best thing I saw today, I was flicking through the Tottenham news. I took a day off from Tottenham yesterday, wanted to get away from it, not talk about it. Yes, I did the political show with Philip last night. And I thought, do you know what? I need a day away from Tottenham. I need to decompress. I need to not even think about Tottenham. Do my political show. Follow this fellow I am starting to watch on YouTube that does Lego. And he's really good, by the way. Some of the stuff he builds is like freaking awesome. Till I realise how expensive it is. It's fucking expensive, believe me. But yeah, I just needed a day away from Tottenham. And with the game coming Sunday and with everything that's happened on Tuesday with Kingsley and then Tudor and then are we going to sack the manager? Is the manager saying, well, we know he's at the press conference, so we know he's here this Sunday. We've got a little bit from Fabrizio Romano. We've got a little bit from David Ornstein as well. We've got one quote from the press conference with Judah today that I want to go through and maybe go through it with Tequila when he joins me later. And also talk a little bit about if the worst case scenario happened. If we get relegated, worst case scenario, right? Being hypothetical here. Who are the players you think will put in a transfer request? And I've actually put a group of players, goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders and strikers, who I think will leave the football club and where we go. But look, I just don't understand. And also, we could talk about Vinay and him throwing Levy under the bus, which I think is a little bit hypocritical because he couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery himself. Him and Lang, the I don't know what you would call them. I think Laurel and Hardy is too much of a. It's an insult to Laurel and Hardy. I think calling them two. I would call them the Chuckle Brothers, but I think that's insulting the Chuckle Brothers, if I'm being honest too. We're the owners have now realised we're in a mess. Well, no shit, Sherlock. How long did it take you to work that one out? Did you have to have a board meeting to work out we're in a mess? I mean, it's unbelievable that other clubs are more organised and we're just going around like it's, I don't know, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to be fine. We're not thinking of relegation. Well, yeah, you need to think about relegation because we're only 1 point off relegation. So wouldn't you not start thinking, oh, hang on a minute, we better start putting things in place here. They have actually come out today, Tottenham, and delayed something to do with the, I did have it written down, I've misplaced it where I put it. It's about the season ticket renewals being pushed back to the 7th of June. Is that because we think the board are getting a little bit anxious that, hello, we might be getting relegated here. We can't be asking people to spend money to buy their season tickets. We can actually do that now. So we've got a lot to go through, guys. We've got a lot to go through. Let's welcome a few people in the chat. And firstly, I want to say big up to Rhino. Big up to you, Rhino. I hope you're doing well, bud. Rhino here says we've become a new YouTube member. Rhino, thank you so much. Really means a lot to me and the guys here. Really does. So thank you so much, buddy. And I hope you're doing well. And I really do. And look, I understand you should come in here more, bud, because do you know what we're like in here? But you should need to come in more, buddy. And he does put in a message. Big up, Rhino. Big up to you. And thanks for becoming a YouTube member again. Big up to Ricky Villa. Need to get you on the channel, bud. Let me know when you're free. So reach out to me on social media or email us, and I will get back to you. He says, hello, Domo. It's good to have a break from Spurs sometimes. Lang and Vinay need a permanent one. Yeah, they do. I am going to talk about that actually too. And also big up to Giant68 as well. It says, big up to Domo. Big up to you, Giant. I hope you are doing grand. Sorry, just checking something out. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. Okay. Right, okay, let's crack on with the show. And big up to everyone. Do please hit the like and subscribe if you can as well. We'd love to get to hello. We've got Igor in the house. Big up to you, Igor. Thank you for joining us from your press conference. It was an interesting one, I have to say. Especially every 2 minutes you were going.
There's a very funny impression of him going around there. I sent you a link to it. Watch, I have a giggle.
Yeah, I did see it. It is funny. It is funny. But I was watching this press conference today, Tequila, just to get an insight with this. And every 2 minutes he was going.
What are you trying to say, Dem? Are you trying to dare say that you're not inspired by our manager?
He wouldn't inspire me to go and make a cup of coffee. Let's put it that way.
Okay, here's the question then. Is he more or less inspiring to you than Thomas Frank was?
Thomas Frank...
He was inspiring.
Do you know what? Thomas Frank was more inspiring than this idiot.
So,
I would say
is it official then? Is it official then that we've downgraded? Are we saying that we've downgraded from Thomas Frank then? Are we saying that?
Downgraded? We've gone so low, I don't think we can see the sunlight. That's how low we've gone. I mean, I would have taken Ange Postecoglou back for 3 months. I know how much you hate him, but that's how bad I've got.
No.
He was asked that question last night. And he was talking about the players, and he was talking about Kingsky and all this, and he said that some of what he was saying was actually did make sense, to be fair. But he was asked about going back to Celtic. He said, you never go back to an ex. He was asked about going back to Spurs, and he said no comment. I would love your reaction if he was announced the man to take over from Judah. That'd be such a funny show.
I think that might be it for me. I don't know how I'll be able to continue, if I'm honest with you.
No, but seriously though, in all seriousness though, I feel out of the three, I feel Ange was more of a motivator than the other two. If I can be honest, he inspired me more than the other two.
Okay, right. Okay, so Ange was more right. I don't think. See, for me, inspiration and charisma isn't always the same thing. Ange was more charismatic. Ange was more charismatic than Tudor or Frank. Yeah, he always was. Yeah. That was never argued. That, man. I don't want any of them. Can I say none? Can that be my answer? I don't want any.
That'd be fine. I mean, you want to say none, but that's your answer. But I
mean, to all three of them, I don't want any of them.
Would Pochettino be more inspired? Look, we know Pochettino is not coming back hopefully to the summer, but there is talks. They are talking to what's his name? The old Brighton manager. We know Harry's available. I thought Harry was going into the jungle.
You said he was. You said he was going into the jungle.
Yeah, but apparently that was pre-recorded.
So he's already taped it then.
He's already taped it, so he's available. Jermaine Defoe said he would come back with Harry. Harry on TalkSport yesterday said get Glenn Hoddle and Tim Sherwood in. I mean, I don't think Harry wants it, if I'm being honest. But that's what Harry hasn't come out and said, "Yeah, I'll take the job."
Didn't he say he wanted it on TalkSport though? Right? Didn't they have him on TalkSport and he said that he'd take it?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I think, he said he wouldn't take it, and then he would take it, but he said nobody's rang me. I tell you who could be our manager, and we have laughed about this, is Sean Dyche. He could be our new manager if Tudor's real. How would you feel about Sean Dyche then, if he was announced as our manager for the next 3 months?
For 3 months, yeah. But would he take that, right? Because he wouldn't though. He's just left Forest, right? And he has got that reputation of kind of being a saviour from relegation. Obviously, they didn't believe he was going to do that for Forest. But do you think he's in a position where he's going to think, well, yeah, I'll take the job full time, but I ain't going to take it for 2 months? Do you know has his stock fallen that low?
You're right on that. Why would he take it for 3 months, Tequila? He's a manager that wants a long-term.
He wants a proper job. Yeah, he wants a proper job.
So Philip Brady said to me, "Would you take Jurgen Klinsmann?" And I thought, do you know what? He loves the club. He's got that connection with the club. He's not at work. I would take Jurgen Klinsmann back for 3 months. I think he could get us out of trouble.
I mean.
That's the problem. I remember what I see. You once see at the time he was at the club. I don't think you were that Tottenham support.
I wasn't.
So I sort of know what he means to the fans. He came back and got us out of relegation in 96, 97. He bleeds the club. He loves the club. But there's no manager out there that you and me or everyone going to agree on. All we do agree on is we need somebody that's going to come in that knows the club, knows the Premier League, can somehow inspire these players to put together 9 more games and get 3 wins out of them 9 games. I mean, we've got Nottingham Forest next weekend after Liverpool. If Tudor's in charge for that Forest game, we're not winning that game. You know
what the remit for the manager should be? You need to win 2 games.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to beat 100%. Firstly,
100%. I agree.
You beat Forest. To have any chance of pulling this off, you got to win that game. Then you need to go to Wolves and beat them, and then see what you can do after that. As in, like, if you can get a couple of draws, then that'll be enough.
Yeah. I mean, look, big up to Carl COYS. It says we're not in a mess. We're at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Look up shit show. in the dictionary. It's our logo. He is asking, is it too late for Russell Martin? It's never too late for Russell Martin in Tequila's book.
At least, look, if we're getting relegated, at least I'll have a laugh along the way. You put Russell Martin in charge, at least I'll be giggling all the time. So that'll be something.
I think sometimes, I mean, a lot of fans. I mean, to be fair, Tequila, I've been through this relegation lark before, back in the 90s, so I have some sort of experience of it. Philip experienced us getting relegated. People in the chat. Last season really wasn't a relegation fight because we were so far away from it. Yeah, we were down there, but we were 13 points clear, so there's no danger of us going down. I think this must be your first sort of time support the club, us being in real danger of going down. Or was there any time in the 2000s that you experienced this?
Not to this level, no. I mean, yeah. I remember the times when we were mid-table. I remember the times where our season was over by like January because we were stuck in mid-table. Yeah. The last 2 seasons for me, yes, you're right. We weren't near getting relegated, but the performances weren't particularly any better. The points weren't particularly that much. The differences was, Dermo, is that last year we had 3 significantly worse teams, whereas this year we've got Burnley and Wolves who are significantly bad. But that third team isn't that bad. That's the problem.
Burnley are not that bad either, Tequila. I think Burnley were very unlucky.
Maybe so, but whether or not you can analyze the quality of that, but points wise, they're not in it, right? So last year there was 3 teams who were significantly out on an island by themselves. This year it's not 3, it's 2. That's the big difference. But I think the performances wise, okay, we played a bit more attacking football under Ange, as you would expect, but like I know we won the Europa. I'm not talking about that, but domestically, we've been shit for 24 months, 2 years. We've been shit for 24 months.
It doesn't mask over. What you're trying to say doesn't mask over.
Not domestically.
We've been, domestically. Yeah, I get that, and I think you're right to say that. I mean, I've said it before. The Europa League just put a paper over the cracks. That's all it did. You can look at the Europa League and think that was a great night, and we got the parade, and we got the monkey off us back, winning a trophy, and brilliant. And there's fans out there, we shouldn't have sacked Ange because we don't know where we'd be now, and we don't know where we'd be. But the problem is, half the fan base wanted them out, half the fan base wanted them in. Yes, he won us a trophy, but I think it still would have stuck a plaster over the massive crack. And if he didn't get off to a good start this season, I think then cause for him to be sacked would have gone. And I think we would be in the same position now if he was in charge or not in charge. But we don't know. We don't know how its third season on the ranch would be. Saying that, the last 18 months have been absolutely dire. The last 2 seasons have been crap. And domestically, these players have checked out. They checked out last season because we're going to go for the Europa League. We've checked out this season. I don't know why they're checking out this season, because the league is your bread and butter. You and me are so aligned on this. Your league is your bread and butter. That's where you finish in the league, is where you earn most of your TV money for the following season. So if you finish in the bottom half, you get a very little amount. I don't know what the TV revenue is for where you finish in the league, but that money you earn from TV revenue goes towards your transfers for next season. And we've been so crap. You burn it down. And I think you're right.
It goes a bit further than that for me. When I look at the league, for me that is more of a measuring stick, because in my opinion, I'm not saying winning cups aren't a good thing, right? They are, and we all enjoy a good cup run. But for me, a measuring stick of a team, you find out more about the actual where you stand in the footballing world based upon your league. And whether we like it or not, for the last 2 seasons, we are one of the worst teams in the top flight for 2 years.
Well, look, the game is about glory, and glory is about winning trophies. Yeah, but you're not going to win a trophy every season, are you? You're going to win a trophy.
No, neither you should expect. You shouldn't expect to either. So
no, but it is about glory. But you're right. Your measuring of a team is where you finish in the Premier League. If you finish in the top 6, then you can class yourself as the top 6 side. If you finish mid-table, you class yourself as a mid-table side. If you finish in 17th place, you class yourself 17th best team in the Premier League. That is why there's numbers next to each team in the league. That's why it's called a league.
And that's why for me, if you have one season where you underperform in the league, you can say, "Oh, it's a little bit of a fluke season," and you can write it off, right? Like Liverpool, for example, right? They're not title challengers this season, right? But you wouldn't probably say they're not a title challenging team. They're not this season, but they only won it last year. So it takes a couple of seasons to then kind of like rearrange itself. But if you look at Spurs, right, even if we win, even if we don't get relegated, we're now going to be classed as bottom. Relegation for 2 years in a row, it'll be 17th, and even if we get out, we might get 15th at best, right? So it'll be 17th and 15th at best, or it could be 17th and 17th at worst if you don't get relegated. So what does that say about our position in the Premier League? We're no longer a top 6 team. You might have the infrastructure, but it's not about that. But our team, right? We're no longer a top 6 team. We're a relegation team because that's 2 seasons in a row we've been in the relegation fight.
And you're right in saying that because the evidence shows you that that's where we are. But I think it's bigger than that. So look, let me get through the chat. I think there is this sort of links on to also what Vinay was saying about leaving, and I love your reaction about that because I think Vinay is just doing what Vinay does best. Is
another snake, Jermo. Another snake.
Another snake, yeah. Past the something to the left-hand side. You know the song I'm on about. Anyway, big up to Rhino. He says, I've just been busy with him. Yeah, firstly, Rhino, my condolences to you, bud. For me and Tequila and everyone here at THFC till we die, bud. I've got to go to London the 17th of April. I'm glad you're going. You're doing the right thing, buddy. I've got a lot of time now. I've not got a lot of time for any YouTube, but I'll try to get back. Look, just pop in, let us know how you are, bud. That's all we're asking. Keep in touch. Let us know how you are. Big up to Giant, says big up to Mo. We've done Carl, done that. All right, big up Tequila, says Giant 68. And also Tequila, Giant sent me an email. He's not well, he's in hospital at the moment. I hope that's okay to say, bud. So do you want to wish him your best? Because I did last night. So
I've been there myself over the years. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. And you get back on your feet. But at least we can entertain you on your hospital bed. Put in your earbuds, whatever they're called, and hopefully the nurses are. Well, I won't say what I was going to say, but you know,
you're just thinking of carry-on nurses, aren't you?
There were some very attractive nurses when I was last in there, man. That's all I'm going to say about that.
We need a late night show, don't we? We need an 11 night show. We used to do them back in the day, by the way. We used to do a show.
I know you did,
yeah. I never liked them. Coover liked them. We had this fella come on. I swear to God, I thought he was R2D2. He used to. I don't know what he was doing. He'd speak to him and go, boop, 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 boop. It was just really weird. Big up to you, Tony, over on YouTube. Tudor will be relieved of his duties by Monday. I hope so.
Why not do it now? Why wait?
Yeah, I think because of the tightness of the games, Tequila, I think so. But there's a theory. I'll give you my theory in a minute, but I don't know. Ange could be back. God. Anyway, Tequila is almost done and is back Monday. Big up. Big up to Digital. Get Ange back, says Digital. Big up to Leo Starman. Look, we may not like him. He might be the only man to keep us up, actually. Big up to Carl. Gotta stay up first. Exactly. Shawnee Deutsch, says Carl. He's after him. Tony says, would take Ange back for 3 months, even if we go down. I'd rather see some passion than these. Look,
he ain't going to come back. He wouldn't come back for 3 months. No way. He wouldn't do it.
Also, Tequila, he wasn't the most passionate manager on the sidelines. Only a few times you saw him lose his rag, but he wasn't like a Conte, or was he? He always just stood there, and I think that's some of the fans' bigger frustration with Ange.
He stood there and crossed his arms. You remember the images like I do?
Yeah, it is. Think Poch going to Real Madrid. Do you know what? If you had the option of the two,
I'm not being funny. I like Poch at Spurs, but I don't think he ain't going to Real Madrid. He's not of that. He's not there, mate. He's not of that caliber. I'm sorry. He's not going to go to Real Madrid. No way.
Big up to you, Giant. Big up to Elspur. Good morning back home, Safely. Well, welcome back to Las Vegas. Listen,
Nice.
when the Vegas, you still going to Vegas, by the way?
Well, for WrestleMania.
I'm sure.
No.
Yeah. Elspeth's trying all the places to go. You could be your guide tour around Vegas, like.
I have to be able to afford the tickets, mate.
We'll never see you again. You'll probably get married out there. When you'll probably get married to some Elvis impersonator. We'll never see you again.
Thank you very much.
You'll be doing shows from Las Vegas next.
The kind of shows you're going through your head and mine when you said shows in Las Vegas.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we're thinking the same thing. I'll take a go to Madrid after winning the league with Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal are going to win the league, but hey ho, I'm just hoping. Safely come back to watch his press conference full of BS. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was full of BS. Believe me, it was. I think the dude wants an 18-month contract, apparently.
That Dyche, I think he means.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, Dyche even, yeah. Big up to El Fan as well. Big up, Dermo. And we need new owners. And Tequila, we need new owners. COYS from rainy Hamburg in Germany. Big up to you, El Fan. Hope you're doing. Big up to Knights Republic, Southgate. No, thanks. I'd rather have Mr. Blobby than Southgate. I mean, Tequila, you watched England a lot more than I did. Southgate? Yeah or no?
No. You want? We need to stop with these dull, boring managers. Okay, you didn't like Frank. Do you think Southgate's going to play significantly better football than Frank did? Did you watch England?
No, I didn't watch England.
Look. What he did okay for Southgate's defense. He was okay. He was quite a good man and manager. The players generally bought into him. That part I will say. But as a Spurs manager, no, he will bore us again. He'll bore us senseless again.
What else is in? Dermo, can you be our new owners? If I had the money, I would. If I was a multi-billionaire, I'd buy Tottenham tomorrow.
So would I.
Yeah. Ryan, Dermo would turn this into Bilbao. He would only sign out. How would you know? How would you know? Talking about Irish players, I know we are on tonight at 8 on the Island Who Would Die, and Tequila's joining us, talking all things Old Firm, which should be good fun. So do join us, and then he will be starting his game and show round 9ish, where he goes and kills zombies, but they're not really zombies. They are the Spurs board, yeah. Throwing oranges at them. That's what he's doing.
There's bald ones in the game, Dermo, and I call them Vinay. I scream Vinay every time I kill him. So
Southgate would bore us to death. Probably avoid relegation, though. Yeah, I would say so.
Probably.
Right. Let's crack on with it, Tequila. Let's start with the first bit of news. It was Tudor's press conference, and this was the bit that come out of it, Tequila. Right. So he was asked, "How are you?" Not even asked. Team news. Who's fit? Who's not fit? Straight into this, he says, I do every day this work, physical work. It is important. I should talk Italian, but I can't. It is Croatian.
You mean psychology work? He said psychology work, not physical. He said psychology work.
Yeah, what's he doing? Psychology? No, don't get me started.
What is giving them therapy? Hey, look, can I join? Can us Spurs fans join? We need therapy more than the players do.
Yeah, can you set up can you set up
Wow.
Yeah, we do need it. It is important also to give the courage to the teammates. Some of them cannot. This is the bit that got me. He says some of them cannot manage for sure. So that's throwing some of them players under the bus. Somewhere you arrive and you can help them. My goal is to find if I can help to do 18 players out of 20, 15. Well, you're not even helping one. So you're sort of lost on that one, mate.
That's rich. That is.
I don't know how much. How much what? Sometimes you cannot do anything. Well, okay. That is true. You ain't doing anything. To be fair, you're making a far worse job than Thomas Frank did. But most of the time, you can do even small changes. What are they? Because I cannot see them. Changes, small help. Help what? You got players that can't stand you. So you're saying you can do small changes, right? Okay. You know you can do it. Yeah, you can do one. But also, it is what I always like to say to the players. Don't be a victim. Don't think it's about me. You know that you know that can be the problem more than all these things about Tottenham and club. You know, like magic on the club. So basically, he's trying to do a Paul Daniels. He's trying to say, I'm Paul Daniels, and I'm going to do a magic trick to help the club. I swear to God.
No, I think I know what he's trying to say. He's saying it really badly.
I know what he's saying. I'm just taking the piss out of
English, obviously, isn't his. Obviously, it's not his language, but he's wording it badly. But okay,
I get it. I know what he's trying to say. Like bad black magic. These are the. But now he's saying the club being cursed and everything. Yes, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know. So this is about what I sent a message. I mean, Tequila, I watched it. It's a 14-minute thing.
He's obviously not a very. I don't think he's a very good communicator. I mean, like I say, there is a language problem, obviously, but the way he describes things, I mean, I don't think he's a particularly good communicator. It doesn't seem that way based on that, but maybe it is the language barrier. But I know what he's saying, but he's saying it in a bad way.
He is very bad way. I mean, I get what he's saying to Kid. I do understand. You are right, but he doesn't inspire me. I mean, I fall asleep watching these press conferences. That's how bad he makes me.
I'll tell you what's rich about it as well. At the start, at the top there, he says, "I do my psychology work." Right? Go and tell Kinski about that psychology. Go and speak to him, and you find out what your methods have done to that guy. Because that guy. I'm not saying his career is over. I won't be that dramatic. But that guy's confidence must be. He ain't going to play for a long, long time, and he probably ain't going to ever play for Spurs again. He'll probably have to go somewhere else and start.
No, he is. Start fresh. He says later in the press conference on Kingsgate, no, of course he would play this season for sure. He came back the day after and was very good in training. Positive, nothing else. So this situation happened very rare. Probably the first and last time in my life and the life of a lot of people that this can happen. It is the same message I said before. You can go out from a situation as a victim. Poor me. What happened? Everyone sending a message of help. I'm with you. That is nice also. Sometimes 2025, this social media life becomes like it's a more important than what you say and what you do. But as I said before, this is normal. This is a mistake. This will happen for sure. In his career, there will be other mistakes, but he has strength and quality in front of him. He is a very good player. So he is going to start again.
We'll see.
We'll see. I agree with you. I think, look, Dean Ashwood said on Talk Sport today that Tudor did the right thing not going near him. And I'd sort of disagree with that. He could have gone over and just put his arm around him and give him a little pep talk on the touchline. Do you know what I mean? He could have done something. He shouldn't put him in the game in the first place. If I'm being honest, he should have been nowhere near that game. But what do you do? What do you think's gone wrong with Tudor before we move on? Like, is it his attitude? Is it the way he does it? What do you think's the main thing that these players have a problem with?
I think that he is. I think that he was the wrong appointment. I think his skill set is not what these players needed. Obviously, that they've looked at the stats and they haven't looked at the man. In my opinion, they've looked at the stats. Oh, he's a firefighter. He does this. What they haven't done, in my opinion, is they haven't looked at the squad. Probably because they don't know anything about the squad because they're owners. Mm. This is why you need good footballing men in to make these choices, don't they? Not the owners.
Yeah.
Right? So they've looked at that and they've like, oh, Paratici said that he's a good manager. Yeah, well, maybe in the summer, right? And they looked, oh, look, he's got these other clubs in Italy out of trouble, right? He's a firefighter, right? Maybe these players don't need a firefighter. Maybe that's not what they need. They need somebody. I think they need somebody who's their friend, not somebody who's I've said this so many times. Some players will react in certain ways, right?
Yeah.
But they're not all going to. He's more or less said that. He said, "Well, not how many players can I affect? 15, 18." I'm not sure that his methods are going to work on the majority of those players. So that's why he's the wrong man, because he hasn't got the skill set for what these players need.
It isn't, and also, I mean, it's like, do you remember when Ramos was in charge and he banned ketchup? Do you remember? And Harry Redknapp came in, didn't he? And the first thing he did in the first day when he came in to take training was lump a bottle of ketchup on the table. Right, lads, have some of that. That suddenly just bonded him immediately with the players. And
these players are obviously crumbling under the pressure. They need somebody to put their arm around them, give them a little bit of confidence, let them try to enjoy the football again. Remember, we always used to say Son needs to play with a smile on his face. None of these players play. None of these players are enjoying their football. None of these players are enjoying playing for Tottenham or this football. So they need somebody who's going to try to get them to enjoy the basic things again when it comes to their football. People in the chat are saying that you're right. You're right. I'm not disagreeing. They do have these precious little egos. Yes, they are. A lot of them are pussies as well. That is a word I will use. They are, but these are still unfortunately, these are the players we have to get us out of this situation. That is it. So you need somebody who's gonna get a tune out of them, and it was never going to be this military instructor bullshit. I'm sorry, it never was going to be that kind of character.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the problem, right? And Alex Crook said it on TalkSport this morning with Sam Matterface, and Dean Ashworth was on there. He said a lot of these players have never got over the sacking of Ange Postecoglou. The majority of these players never got over that sacking for whatever reason. And it's true, because since he's left, a number of these players have declined in how they play for the club. Romero's constantly coming out with quotes against the board. I have no problem with that, but there's a time and place for it. You can't name me one player this season that has really put his neck on the line. Maybe Mickey van der Ven is one. I don't know. Can you really name me, Keeler, in the game against Crystal Palace, who really stopped the neck on the line, either the first or second half? Because I do believe that some of these players have down tools since the day Ange was sacked.
Well, my reply to that is that then they should have played better in the league last year, then he wouldn't have got sacked.
Exactly.
That's my reply. That's my reply.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I do. But do you see the point? If these players have then got a problem with the board, then isn't the whole club then in disarray? That the players don't like the board, what they didn't like what Levy did. They brought in Thomas Frank. That hasn't worked. And it's just one thing after another, isn't it? For the last 18 months, it's been one thing after another. And
I can't wait to be rid of most of these players.
I agree.
I welcome them all getting sold. There's so few of them that I care about keeping. I tell you, so few of them.
Do you know what? I think Bergville, Archie Gray tries, bless him, and so does Bergville. I think Vicario, I can't wait to see the back off. And Porro, if I'm being honest. I think them two can leave tomorrow. I think Porro's been an absolute idiot. I didn't mind Porro until he put out the statement. You can only be a true Tottenham fan if you don't criticise the players. Well, I'm sorry. You don't say that to Tottenham fans. I'm sorry. I draw the line at that. But I think also Basuma should have been gone already. You and me have agreed on that. I think if we get relegated, Xavi's going to be the first one out of the football club. He'll be looking for a transfer straight away. I have got a thing about players who's leaving and who might leave, so I'm going to go through that with you. But talking about the club, talking about the mess we're in, Vinay had minutes from Vinay's meeting with Tottenham Supporters Trust and the board fans advisory came out today. Firstly, Tequila, Tottenham have extended the season tickets to the 7th of June. Do you think that was the right thing by the club to do because of looming relegation? And is that the club now finally accepting we could get relegated?
They've got no choice.
Because I think it is.
Yeah, they've got no choice.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
They've got to.
Yeah. Now, Vinay, this is one of the things Vinay said. He did say a bit more, but this was from me. I think I got a couple of what he says. He says, why the club has made strong progress in areas such as stadium, training facilities, commercial growth, and stadium operations, several areas were identified as falling short of what is required to compete at the highest level. And then he says, noted that the club has been loss-making for a number of years, which I don't think is actually correct. I think Tottenham under Levy made, I think it was 165 million, or something. I think that's the figure. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I know within we were known as the most profitable club in the Premier League, which means compliance with FFP rules need to be actively monitored and planned for. The minutes read, an increasing emphasis therefore be placed on player sales along with continued revenue growth to ensure we have the headroom to what these are saying Muppets that came out and said when Levy left, we're going to buy for success. We're going to put money in and we're going to build on success. So what they're going to do?
Yep.
Do nothing in January. And I know you said at the time, Tequila, we shouldn't buy anything for Thomas Frank, and I get that. But there is loans they can do. And, Daniel Levy can be blamed for a hell of a lot. But I just feel it's easy to blame Daniel Levy instead of taking the responsibility yourself. Vinay and Lung caused this. If Daniel Levy was in charge, we know full well that Thomas Frank would have been sacked in October and November. Don't we? We know that as if... I think he would have done.
Ange wasn't.
Yeah, I get that, but
so
I get that, but I don't. At the time, but Ange wasn't in October of last year.
I don't know, Dermo. A lot of people wanted Ange gone. A lot of people.
I get that. I think that's a fair comment to make. No, that's fair. I understand that, but I'm not trying to say one or the other. But under the situation we were this season, do you think Daniel Levy would have given Thomas Frank as much time as Vinay and Lang did?
Well, when Levy gave Ange the amount of time last year, I remember saying to you as it was happening, this is very un-Levy-like, because normally, and if a manager underperforms in a league so badly, no matter who it is, he's gone. Levy used to be very, very trigger happy for some reason, and I haven't got the exact answers for you because I'm not in the back. But Levy gave Ange much longer than he gave other managers who were underperforming in the league so much. I don't know why. Maybe I think Ange is a very good salesman. Maybe he sold Levy on it. Maybe Levy bought into it. Fair enough, right? But so normally Levy doesn't give these managers time. Ange was the exception to the rule. I don't know why, but he was. So would Thomas Frank have been given the same leeway under Levy? Probably not, because Ange, like I say, Ange was the exception. Normally Levy didn't put up with these kind of performances. So there's a good chance that you're right that Levy wouldn't have stuck by it.
Yeah.
But unless Levy changed, and we struggle to think that because he seems like he's pretty set in his ways. But under Ange, he treated Ange differently than everyone else. I don't know why. I haven't got the answers for you, but he did. So I don't know if Frank would have been given the same amount of time under him. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, talking about Daniel Levy, he actually did ring Harry Redknapp, but Harry Redknapp said this on TalkSport last week. He says, so speaking on TalkSport last week, former Tottenham boss Harry revealed, I got a phone call last week from Daniel, funnily enough. I think I spoke to him once since I left all that time ago. I was in the car last week and suddenly the phone goes, it's Daniel Levy. I thought, that's strange. So I was on the phone for him for about half an hour, chatting to him. He was explaining what happened to him and how he got marched out of there, which was really strange. And he did say to me, if I was there now, I'm not just saying it, I would bring you back until the end of the season. Harry said it would have been interesting. Now, that's Daniel Levy last week talking to Harry Redknapp on the phone call. Now,
well, if we take if Harry was telling the truth, if we take Harry at face value, and he was telling the truth, then that is interesting, isn't it?
What does that say then, Tequila, about him being marched out? We don't know what happened. Even you and me know we use the same people. We know the people we get our information off, and there's a lot of NDAs. And I've been told a few things that I cannot say until I get the go ahead. And you've been in part of that conversation as well. And we know that there was something more what happened here. But this Vinay attack on Levy, saying it's all his fault, he left us in a financial mess. He left us in this way that we have to sell before we can buy. I think it's just pushing it down the road. I just think it's sweeping it under the carpet. It's not my fault. It's his fault. But Vinay has to take responsibility. If he come out and said, look, I'm sorry, we got it wrong. We got it wrong over Thomas Frank. Maybe we left it too long.
He's not.
No, I know it's not good enough, but
no. I mean, he's not going to, because he's in self-preservation mode. He's trying to cover his ass.
Yeah, but if he had come out and said, look, I cocked up. We have cocked up. We haven't made the right decisions this season. Blah blah blah. I would have a bit more respect for him, but I would have thought, well, at least he's coming out and owning it.
Yeah, but he can't. Yeah, but he can't say that. He can't because he wants to keep his job.
Yeah, I don't think he should keep his job, if I'm being honest. I mean, this bit here as well. The minutes read, an increasing emphasis, therefore, would be played. How financially bad are we in then? How financial? I mean, Daniel Levy was all about keeping a race structure. Shouldn't have done that. I'll do that in a minute. Daniel Levy is all about balancing the books, making sure we're financially secure so we could operate from making our own money and operate using our own money, right? This is telling me that was all bullshit from Levy. He left us in the financial mire, but I know that's not true because we know Daniel Levy went to ENIC and said, I need more money. Joe Lewis said, no, you're not getting any. And then suddenly, we're saying to players in the summer, oh, we'll give you £250,000 a week. So please tell me, are we in a financial mess? Are we fine? Because Vinay is saying we're going to have to sell before we can buy. I just think ENIC do not want to put any money into the football club.
He's talking about if he's talking about FFP and stuff like that, I thought we were 300 or 400 million. That is. So I don't know where he's getting this stuff from. I think as people are putting in the chat, it is typical. Somebody comes in, they have a bad time with it, and rather than looking themselves in the mirror, look, no wonder this club's full of players, the board members, the coaches, the managers, they all do it, man. They don't take accountability for their actions, and they always look to pass the buck. And that's we should change our name to Buck Hotspur, because they'll be all anyone does in this club is pass the buck. They never take accountability, man.
No, they don't.
None of them. The players don't, the coaches don't, the staff don't, the board don't. None of them take it. None of them stand up and take accountability. They all want to pass it on to someone else. All of them. It sucks, man.
It does. I mean, the other one takes responsibility is us, the fans. We're the ones that take responsibility. We're the ones that are going to be faced with the club in the championship if this continues on. And where they're going to be sitting in their ivory towers, they're not going to sell then. So all these fans that want Tottenham to get relegated because ENIC will then suddenly sell up I'm sorry, you're living in cloud cuckoo land, because that ain't gonna happen. The only way Tottenham are sold from ENIC is if we remain in the Premier League, somebody comes in and say, we're going to make you an offer you can't refuse, and then sell the football club. But they're not going to sell the football club because of all the property around it in Tottenham. They're not stupid. ENIC are not thick. They know, with the amount of property they own around Tottenham, how much they're going to make out of this hotel, which I didn't ask for a hotel in front of my football club. I am sorry. You're building a hotel for what? Because the stadium's going to be used for 2028. Then just put naming rights up in it so we can't be used, so you don't have to build this stupid hotel. How about, if you want to do something for the area, how about upgrading Tottenham itself? How about putting money into the community? Upgrade the high road. Make it nicer for people. How about doing that instead of building a hotel which you, me, or the man next door won't be able to afford that because you're going to charge so much money? Only the rich knobs are going to be able to stay there. So instead of turning our football club into a circus, which you've already have, then just pedal off. Walk into the sunset with your 4.5 billion, stick it where the sun don't shine, and get out of our club. Because you've not only killed the football inside, you've now made this into a joke because we're building a Pexy hotel that I didn't even want. I didn't even ask for the new stadium. I was happy with White Hart Lane. But no, we have to build this big stadium because we have to be futurists. I tell you what being future is, winning a fucking trophy. That's what makes fans happy. Not sitting 1 point above relegation. But don't worry, guys, having your board meeting every week or having your meeting before the match. Well, what's happening today, guys? Well, don't worry, guys. We may be crap at football, but we've got a shiny new stadium hotel coming along. Don't worry about that. Don't worry, we've got plenty of people on the F1, on the go-karts down below. And don't worry, we've got Beyonce booked for the summer, shaking her booty. I don't give a rat's monkeys about all of that. All I care about is Tottenham winning trophies, Tottenham being successful, Tottenham competing. I want us to compete. It's not a lot to ask for. It's not a lot to wish for. We're 17th because you've become incompetent of running a football club. You've got a man in his 80s waddling around his boat, probably doesn't know which day of the week it is, probably doesn't even know Tottenham Hotspur even exist. But don't worry, guys, I'm going to give it to my 3 children who couldn't even organise that. I am sorry. And then you put in an Arsenal, this is the biggest bit, you're bringing people from Arsenal who were officially taking the piss out of us from within the club. One person saying, oh, I can't have the badge next to my skin, taking photos. Why is he not sacked? Then you got Vinay going down there with a dopey idiot Lange. Do you know what? I like this manager. He's from my country. He's from Denmark. I'm going to back him, and I'm going to say he's going to be the next manager for 10 years. While I'm here, he's here. Well, newsflash, Lang, he went, and why did you not go with him? And I tell you what, why don't you take that dope Vinay with you as well? I swear to God, this club will... I'm gone grey because of Tottenham Hotspur, because of ENIC. Bring back Mr. Blobby and Daniel Levy, or I say. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on the rant.
No, you're good, dude. I'm just listening to it, mate. Let it out. I think most of us in the chat agree with most of what you say, and we're all living vicariously through you, Dem. And you go, you keep, you let it out, mate. Let it out.
Seriously, I didn't ask for this new stadium. Somebody says it in the chat. Where is it? Stephen Thomas. We should have built a 3rd tier around White Hart Lane. Exactly. What did Barcelona do? They dug down. Barcelona, when they built the new camp, I think I'm right. They dug down so they can actually put more seats into it. By building the new stadium, of course, nobody agrees with what I say.
No, some people do, some people don't. Look, I think we did need a new stadium. even though I admit that the atmosphere is not as good, right? We did need a new stadium because if we wanted to compete with the big boys, the Man Uniteds and Arsenal's brand new stadium, remember that our rivals just built themselves a nice flashy new. So we didn't want to be left in the dust. So we did need the new stadium, but it's just like we were promised things by. Now all of a sudden, because we're doing badly and Levy's gone, all of a sudden we want Levy back. Well, I don't, because I remember all the lies and bullshit that he fed me. So I don't want
him back either, but anything's better than the numpties got in charge now. And I agree, White Hart Lane was, and I do remember the East and West Stand had visible issue. I do get that. I think, look, I just missed the old ground because I've always said it. Give me White Hart Lane and a championship winning side. And give me a new stadium. And
the stadium isn't the problem. Dude,
I know it's not the problem.
The stadium isn't the problem, really. We did need the new stadium.
Sorry.
I know. We needed a new stadium. We needed the extra income. But the idea is that basically the money was meant to be getting paid so that we could compete on every level. Now, we spend decent amounts in the transfer market when it comes to the fees, but where we haven't bothered is on the wages. Because Levy, right, he was well known for this. For being so stingy with his wages. And if they're going to, if these guys are saying they're going to change it, well, that's great and all, but it might be too late, I'm afraid. Because we might not be in the Premiership next year to make it. It won't matter what wages you want to pay. You're going to pay what? You're going to pay 300,000 to people in the Championship? No, you're not.
No. Can I just clear one thing up here? I got nothing against the new stadium, right? I'm just frustrated by the people that are running our football club. I'm frustrated with the way they've ran it. I'm frustrated with the way that they want to build a hotel. I didn't ask for a freaking hotel. Put that money you want it into a hotel, into the squad. Put that into the football club. I'm allowed an opinion, but I just feel that every time I say something or I have an event, that actually people say, well, you're wrong or you can't say that. I've been to the stadium 3 or 4 times, right? Yeah.
It's not. Some people agree with you. It's quite mixed, Dermo. So it's far from everyone not agreeing with you. It's actually very varied. A lot of people are agreeing that they didn't want the new stadium, and some people are saying that we needed it. So you're not alone.
It's not about the stadium. It's about the way we're being run. It's about the way that we went about and hiring people that cannot do the job they can do. It's about Vinay not doing his job correctly. It's about Johan Lang not doing his job correctly. It's about everything. Everything came through Levy. Everything came through his vision for our football club. Everything came through him. And if you really put it down to, and Rain's saying is, I don't want the, everyone's looking at. I get what Ryan's saying. Dermot, they need the hotel for the stadium to be able to hold European football events like Euros. I couldn't give a shit about the Euros. I just can't. I know why we need it, but I couldn't give a shit. If we didn't hold the European to get any games in Euro 2028, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, they're coming to Dublin anyway, so I'll go and watch them at the Aviva. But instead of putting money into that, put that money into buying better players, paying them better wages so we can be competitive in the league and win stuff. I want to win trophies.
I agree, Dermo, but I don't think that I understand that people like. Well, I liked White Hart Lane better as an atmosphere. I get it. Of course it is, but change is difficult no matter who it is. That was always going to be a problem. Because White Hart Lane was our home for so many years and we had so many fond memories. So you make a change like that, right? It's going to take a long time. It could be a very long time before that for the Tottenham. He hasn't even got a name. Because this is what I mean. It hasn't even got a proper name.
Why not just call it White Hart Lane? It was built on White Hart Lane. Just call the fucking
Well, you know why they didn't? Because they wanted the money, even though they haven't bloody named it still. But that was the reason, because they want the money.
And that's another thing as well that got my goat. They hired a fella.
Yeah, I know.
And he sat there for 5 years and did feck all.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
They kept paying him as well. What did he do for 5 years?
Well, his job must be it was to find somebody, but he just failed at it miserably, didn't he? He didn't find anyone, or nobody was willing to pay what they wanted anyway.
Do you know? I still call it White Hart Lane. Rain says, "You think money is going on development, not players? That's not true. It's two different things." I want us to put the money into the football club. I'm not a financial person, okay? couldn't care less about financials. I couldn't care less about spreadsheets or whatever. It's not my thing. I'm not good at it. I never have been good at it. I just focus on what I see in the pitch every Saturday. I focus on the team that's winning, to win trophies. I want more Bilbaos. Lucky enough to grow up in the era when we won 3 FA Cups, 2 League Cups. 2 League Cups. I've seen 2 European nights when we've won European trophies. So I've been there. I've seen us win a lot of trophies. The man next to me has seen us win 3 trophies since the early 90s. Since 1999. He's gone through more pain and heartache watching us than I have. And I've seen this being successful. So I couldn't give a shit about the finances or about how live it. I want us to win football club. How many teams within the Premier League said, do you know what? We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. We're going to pay the players properly. We're going to go for it. I want that because that means we're going to be competitive. That means we're going to go for trophies. Liverpool, you look at Liverpool for an example, right? Liverpool's owners backed the manager in everything he did, Jurgen Klopp. Who did they sell tequila for 100 million? What was his name?
Coutinho.
Who did they buy? Van Dijk and Alisson. And he was allowed the finances to build a team around them too. What did Liverpool go and do? Become successful. Go on to win Premier Leagues, European Cups.
But when we sold our star player, when we sold Bale, right, it's the best example, right? We flunked the money. Well, we sold Bale, I remember it was a summer of us. We bought like 5. We spent all of Bale's money. We bought 5 players for it, and the only one who was any good was Eriksen. So we wasted ours. And again, that is the point. We don't build good football teams. Liverpool are much better at building good football teams. They spend their money wisely. It's not the amounts. Yeah, we know. Yeah, Liverpool spunked 300 million last summer, right? And it made their team worse, crazy as it is, right? So it's not always about the amount you spend. It's how you spend it. We don't spend it well because the football people we've got in charge, for the majority, are buffoons. And a lot of that was Levy because he made the decisions of delegation. And he's gone now. So whoever's job it is to make who is delegating the football stuff is a problem. If that's Vinay, then so far he's a nightmare as well. He hasn't had long, right? Because the guy who's meant to be doing this, he's meant to be Lange. And until he goes, the first port of call is him. And the thing is, this isn't going to be a quick fix either. This is going to take years to implement because if we can get somebody in, right, then we need to build the team. We need to more or less start again. I've been saying it. We need to start again. I'm not saying that every player we've got is complete worthless. I'm not saying that.
No.
Not every player we've got is absolute worthlessness. But we need to build a team properly. Spend the money wisely, like Liverpool do. Like clubs like Brighton, who've got this incredible scouting network. We need to do a mixture of what Brighton does and what Liverpool does. We need to find gems at cheaper prices and also get established players who are right for the team.
Yeah. And also, you look at United this summer, and you look at us. We won the Europa League. What did we do? And what did United do? United went out and spent 250 million on 3 or 4 quality players. What did we do?
Got 2 loans.
We've got 2 loans and a couple. Well, we've got Xavi and we've got Kudos, and we've got a player out of the PSG recycling bin. That we found. He was wandering around Tottenham and he was asking, "Can I play?"
Iceman puts in the chat Villa. Yeah, Villa's a good example. Yeah. Villa's a good example.
Can I just say that's the point I was trying to make? Villa. That was, and I understand what you're saying, Rain. I really do, and I think you're right in what you're saying. I think I'm more passionate. I'm not. I probably am passionate, but I see it through probably where you see the bigger picture, which is I understand. I probably see it through. I'm more shoot from the heart. I'm heart on my sleeve, where people like Tequila or other people are a bit more logical about it and see the bigger picture. Where I'm more, and maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just my fault for maybe I should look at things more logical, but I don't. I go by my heart on my sleeve, and I don't know who's telling you you're. I never said you weren't passionate. I never said you weren't passionate. I don't know who said that. I never said you're as. So yeah.
I think what Dermo's trying to say is that basically
I'm not good at saying how I say things sometimes, and I think
his
I just
passion
let my mouth
overrules his
run.
logic. His passion for Spurs. I'm not saying overall, but his passion for Spurs overrides his logic, which is not a knock, Dermo.
Yeah.
It's a personality trait. It's not a knock.
No, I know.
Some of us like me, my mind goes before my passion, rightly or wrongly. That's how my mind works. It's just differences. It's not right or wrong. It's just differences.
No. I respect people like you and Rain that can be more logical. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Sorry, that's my fault. I said it the wrong way. Sorry. I know you're as passionate as I am. Sorry, that's me on fault. Sometimes I don't word things correctly, so I do apologize about that.
You put your passion before logic. That's what what I think you mean. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I did mean. Yeah. And where you're passionate and logical, I'm just passionate, and my logic goes out the window, somewhere down the like.
It's just different personalities, mate. It's no right or wrong. It's just differences.
No, it is, and it's how I've always been. You know how passionate I am. How I wear my heart on my sleeve when it comes to this football club.
I know you do.
Right, Igor Tudors. Let's move on from that.
God. He's got more, is he? God, shut him up, will you?
You can see you can see David Onstein's trying to block out a word. Sorry, I do apologise. Not very professional. I do apologise. He did make a very good point, right, Rain, and I want to bring it up. Where did he put it? Yeah, here we go. He says, okay, you're not a financial person, but I know you spend money investing in improvements to this channel. I get that. And that is right. I can understand you've got to do these things to invest to make more money, don't you, Tequila? You've got to invest in that. I've got no problem with the NFL and with the go-karts and that. Look, you get frustrated. But if we could see the money was going into the football club instead of some of it going into their hip pockets, do you think would you be fine with that? I understand
the idea is sound, and we've heard them speak all the time about revenue streams, right? That's what they say, revenue streams. There's no problem. There's nobody who should have an issue with them doing this stuff if it benefit the football club, which it doesn't, because it doesn't seem to go in. I don't know where all the money goes, but it hasn't translated into success on the pitch. So they are not allocating the money that they are getting into the proper avenues. What are those proper avenues? I don't know. I don't work there. That's beyond my pay grade. But it's obvious that they are not putting the money in the right departments. They spend they spend enough in transfer fees. I think the transfer fee generally is there or thereabouts. We always want that one extra player, but I mean on average, most summers they spend between 100 and 130 million. That's what I expect to spend. Right, and that can fluctuate a little bit. If we're in the Champions League, you think there should be a bit more. But on average, we spend 100 to 130 million, and then whatever sales we make. Right, it's not that. It's how we allocate the funds. The wages are not high enough, right? And also, we obviously need to put a lot more money into recruitment and development, because our recruitment and development is one of the worst in the league, especially for our club of our size. It's one of the worst in the league.
And under Paratici, our youth system was probably one of the best it's been for a long time. You look at the plays we produced when Paratici was there. You look at the Mikey Moores and Donnellys and all these players. Instead of sending them out to loans, Tequila, if you're good enough, you're old enough, put them into the Premier League, sink or swim. That is where you're going to find where these young players, levels are at. You look at Mikey Moore. I know Scotland's a different league, but he's killing it up there. What's the point of loaning these players out to Championship or League One sides where they know they're going to be better than the players, majority of the players in them leagues? And that's no disrespect to Championship or League One. But if you're good enough, you should be old enough to go into the first team and put a performance in. You look at the game last year when we played, who was it? That the youngsters all scored, the one that they scored 3 goals. I've always had this thing: if you're good enough, you're good enough, you're old enough. They used to stick 15, 16-year-olds into the first division back in the day.
Wayne Rooney played for Everton when he was 16. Look at him.
Exactly. There's my, and I just feel this going out on loan on. So I know there's a lot of people probably will agree with this. This going out on loan after loan does nothing. It doesn't improve your. It's not going to make you a Premier League player because you're not playing Premier League football. You're playing a lower type of football where technically you might be better than the players around you.
But the thing is, though, Dermo, again, this is analysing the players. Like Mikey Moore, I believed wanted to go. So some of them might. I think it was more him saying, "I want to go on loan." So if a player wants to do that, then you have to kind of take that into account. But whoever's analysing our younger players, who is that? It can't be the manager, or is it the manager? Because we change managers all the time. So whoever it is it Lange? I suppose Lange. That's under Lange as well, is it then?
Mm.
Who's meant to be monitoring our younger players and deciding which one of them stay and which one of them go. They must have thought that we had more than enough. And the thing is, you can only play so many players, Dermot. So I don't know. I don't know. I agree with some of the loans and some of them I don't. I think Mikey Moore probably could have got a lot of minutes this season. That's hindsight being 2020. But somebody like Alfie Devine, for example, who I think still got potential, or Dorrington, again, I'm not sure how many minutes they would have got.
Well, with all the injuries, I think with all the injuries and yeah, I get you. I get you mean. I do understand.
It's a difficult one because we've got a lot of players out on loan, and there is only so many spots in the team.
Mm.
It's a difficult. There's no right. Again, it's a difficult one.
There's no right or wrong answer to it.
Well, no. This is where you're meant to trust in the footballing people at the club, and the problem is they've shown that they're inept, and we don't trust them, nor should we trust them because the experience have shown us that they don't seem to have an idea of what they're doing one day from the next. So how can you trust them when it comes to the long-term growth of our young players? Do you trust the football people at Spurs to do what's best for these young players? No, neither do
I. I couldn't trust them to organise a stag night properly. But there you go. Anyway, here you go to the latest. This is the latest from David Ornstein. It says that's Daniel Levy's fault.
I'm just laughing.
Can you read that?
Two dots. Do you want me to read it, dear? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is I want to suck your blood. That's Tudor. No, that's me. I shouldn't be saying that really. I'm sure they're lovely people in Transylvania. So if they change him in the first days or weeks, whether they stay up or go down, okay, go down. They attempted to do something different. They recognized it was a mistake. It wasn't working. And whether it was the vibesman, that view from the lane has talked about so much, and somebody, a figurehead with real Tottenham connection, whether that person coached on the training ground or not, to get somebody in to try and lift the atmosphere, arms around the shoulders, give the players and staff a bit of love, and try and just scrape their way through. The extent they went to bring him in, and the cost it would incur to get rid of him. No. The cost of going down is much more expensive than firing Tudor. So the way things are going, I'd be stunned if they see out the end of the season with him. And that makes sense because he's only on a 2 or 3 month contract. So firing him isn't going to cost them that much. Who knows how much, but it'll be much less than him getting relegated. So I don't think we've got any snowball's hot chance in hell of staying up with this guy. I don't think he's right for Spurs. I don't think he's right for Spurs or the situation, either for Spurs or the situation we find ourselves in.
Do you know what? For me, I'm surprised he's still here. Firstly. Secondly, I can understand because there's probably a tight turnaround between us. Now, the games we've got coming up, we've got Liverpool Sunday, we've got Atletico Madrid next Wednesday coming. I've got some Abby Summers, right? I need to pull her up on something, right? She said something really bizarre. And then we've got Nottingham Forest next Sunday, and then we've got a 3-week break. Can you see him being in charge to Nottingham Forest and then Tottenham sacking him in the international break?
If he's in charge of Nottingham Forest, we probably get relegated.
Yeah.
So,
but can you see Tottenham doing it? Can you see Vinay, dumber and dumber, keeping him there, deciding he's doing a great job, keeping him there because he might get a win?
If you're going to get rid of Tudor, I don't see the point in giving him any more games. Explain it to me. That I know that we've got. I know that it will be a minor miracle even to get a draw at Anfield, right? But even so,
this is the first time we're not winning.
Of course we're not. Of course we're not winning. But again, you look at the percentages. Are we more likely to sneak a draw, right? Because people can go to Anfield and get a draw. Not many go there and win. That is a rare occurrence.
No, that's true.
Teams go there and grab a draw.
We could do.
Right. So who is more likely? Because right now every point counts. It's going to be so bloody close that every point counts. So have we got more or less chance of sneaking a draw? I'm not being deluded in thinking we're going to win, but sneaking a draw is not impossible. Unlikely. Have we got more chance doing that with Tudor or someone else?
Do you know what? I think I think we have more chance that with somebody else because I don't think these players want to play for Tudor. But
so then why are we waiting then? Because
I think the clubs think the club. I mean, what we read out the other day, and we know what we read out from the people we get our news from, is they probably haven't got somebody in place. If they had somebody in place, I think the change would have happened. I think they're still waiting to. The games that what we've got Liverpool, Madrid, Forest. So we've got 3 games in the next 7 days, right? Our Tottenham, our Vinay, our Land, are the Lewis family. Are they going to really say, do you know what? We're going to see what happens over the next 3 games. Are they really that stupid or that blind?
Well, yes, they are. Yes,
and
they should. And they also nobody else is, but yes, they are. They've proven that they are already. Yes.
Also, on the flip side of that, and this is me being hypothetical, by the way, and this is me just playing devil's advocate here. If you're allowing the players to make that decision and say, we need a new manager, we couldn't play under Thomas Frank, now we can't play under Tudor a lot. Are you then letting the loonies run the asylum? Because if the players are saying, right, we want to change your manager, then we know we should be looking at the players for their performances anyway. And we know they should be fully blamed for the performances, but everyone else must take a blame. Then are Vinay and Lang saying, do you know what? We listened to you over Thomas Frank. And look, and now you're not playing for this. We're not listening to you. So I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm not saying that we should keep Tudor. We should get rid of him. We should have won the night of the Real Madrid game. He should have been sacked at half time. But can you see the point I'm making? If you're Vinay, you listened to the players once before, and rightly or wrongly, Thomas Frank got sacked. But are they saying we're not going to listen to you guys? Why should we? So, can you understand that? Can you see where I'm coming from? I know it's devil's advocate, but
then if that's really the truth, and if the players are the ones calling the shots, which we all know is completely the backwards way it should be, but if they really hold that kind of power in their hands, they're almost. It feels to me like they're almost. It's a bit extremely saying it, but it makes me think that they're almost holding the club to ransom They're more or less sticking it. They're more or less saying, didn't want to plunder Frank. You brought this dude in. Don't want to plunder him. So unless you give us a manager who we want to plunder, then we're just not going to bother. So then screw you. You can be relegated. That's what it sounds like.
It's Carl's right there. Have we left it too late?
No. Nearly.
I don't think so.
Nearly.
But, if we don't sack him after Liverpool and we leave him in charge for Madrid and we leave him in charge to Forest, then we're leaving it right.
We have to win Forest. Like we can't draw. We have to beat.
You and me have both said if we lose Forest, we're going down because that is the 6-pointer. We've got Leeds, and we need to beat Leeds and we need to beat Forest. And Forest are playing good at the moment. Forest have got a bit of momentum around them. We know by Sunday evening, by Sunday 4:30, we could be either in the bottom 3 or we could be joint bottom 3 with level on points with West Ham or Forest. Now, we know Forest are kicking off at 2, and that is a game I will be keeping a very close eye on that Forest game. I'm even touching the idea of doing a watch along to that as a precursor to Tottenham game. I'm that serious about it on the other channel. We know West Ham are playing Man City Saturday night, but they're playing at the London Stadium. Do you know how dodgy Man City have been at the moment? We know how passionate West Ham fans can get. Yeah, hate along. That's it. Thank you. Hate along. Thank you. That's what I meant. Hate along. We could be in the bottom 3 by the time we kick off 4:30.
The thing is, I personally don't think that you should be worrying about what the other teams do.
I think you've got to keep an eye on them.
You don't. No, you don't. You see, the reason why I'm saying that is because we're not in a position why when you get to the position where stuff isn't in your hands anymore. That's when you do it. Stuff is still in our hands. Well, we can still control our future. We still have the ability to control our future.
You're right. I understand what you're saying. You're spot on with that. You're right. It is on our own hands. I get that. But when you're a point above that relegation zone, when you're a point above the bottom 3, you do have to look at other games and just to see how they're doing. Because we know we got Nottingham Forest next Sunday. And you know full well, out of the 2 sets of groups, Tequila, which players are going to be more up for that game next?
I know, but what I mean is that I'm not saying that you shouldn't scout the teams. What by all means, watch the match. If you're in the Tottenham, right, you're the manager. You watch the matches, analyze the teams, analyze how they play, but don't obsess over if they win or lose their game.
No, I agree. But if you look at both squads, who's in the better frame of mind right now?
West Ham.
No, you look. No, I meant for Forest and us.
Forest. Both. Forest and West Ham are both better places than we are. But yeah, Forest are in better place. Yeah.
It's shocking, isn't it, Tequila, that you and me are actually talking about this? Do you know that? It is shocking that we're talking about.
We haven't won all year. We haven't won in 2026. We've won 2 games at home in the last calendar year, the last 12 months. So. It's not shocking. It's where we are.
It's not. When we did our pre-season show way back in July or in August, none of us dreamt we'd be here where we are now. We all thought mid-table. I thought delusionally we were fighting for a Conference League place.
I said 9th.
Yeah, you said 9th. I said 8th or 7th. I said stupidly, Champions League because we're Tottenham. Do you know, jokingly. But you and me never dreamt we'd be where we are now. And that's on everyone. No. And that's on everybody. Just one more thing as well before we finish off. Oh yeah, this is it here. This was very quickly what Fabrizio said, more or less what David Ornstein said. But he basically said, but obviously the situation in Tottenham is very fluid, very open, so he could go at any time. Lastly, Tequila, I can't believe we've been on an hour and a half. Firstly, that's long. We are live at 8 on the Island Till We Die. Do join me, Tequila, and Mr. Brady as we talk all things home firm. If Tottenham are relegated, it would be a free-for-all. These are the players I think that would leave the football club. So, agree or disagree? Now, a couple of them are loans, by the way. Palunia's a loan and Morani's a loan, so we know they're going back. But let me know in the chat what you think, guys. Let me know in the comments. But Tequila, you can go through them one by one if you want. Do you agree or not agree?
So you're going to think we're going to sell 14 players?
Well, do you think Vicario wants to stay playing the championship? Well, all these players here.
I think Vicario's gone whether or not we get relegated. Do you mean if it's only? Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Vicario, 100%. I think he's gone no matter what.
Yeah. Lord Porro of Totteridge.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid are sniffing for him apparently.
After his performance, you sure? Porro, I think again. I'm not sure Porro will be here no matter what happens. I think Van der Ven is gone no matter what happens as well. I think that had we had a better season, he would have given us one more year. But I think that considering how this season's panned out, I think he'll be gone.
Yeah.
Romero, I think we want rid more than it seems like we want rid, like the club want rid of him.
Yeah.
So he'll be gone. Dragusin. The only way
his agent.
The only way I can see him staying is if we sell Romero and Van der Ven, and all of a sudden he finds himself as first choice. But then we're in a lot of trouble if he's going to be first choice, Tom.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Look, I think Mickey Van der Ven might end up at Man United or Liverpool, if I'm being honest.
Liverpool.
I think your doggy will go back to Italy. I think Dragusin will go to wherever one would take him. Basuma will be gone anyway, so he needs to go.
Yeah, he can go.
The only players I'm not sure of is Kulu, Madison, because they've both been injured long term. And I don't know how they would feel if we did get relegated. Would they have the commitment to say, do you know what? We're going to stay around and get these up? I
actually think Madison would stay. The reason is simple. The reason is simple. I think he's quite settled in London because I think his wife wanted to move there. So that's take that into consideration. Also, he's been injured all year, and we as a club have nursed him through a real long injury.
We've missed him.
I think he might feel. I don't know him personally, of course. He may feel I was injured all season. I couldn't contribute. They paid all my wages for last year. At the very least, unless they get an incredible offer for me, which is different, at the very least, I can at least give them one season. I think Madison could stay.
Yeah.
Kudos.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at this comment, Tequila. Your reaction's going to be gold.
If that were happened, I'm done. Honestly, I'm done. I couldn't come back.
Your reaction, you would have to do a live stream with your reaction. That would be. That would be. Gold.
I'd just be done. I'd just throw my hands in the air and just say, "That's it, boys. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm out."
Okay, look, yeah. Fine. So I agree with you, Madison. Xavi, I think, will go.
Yeah.
Palunia. Do you know what? I know I put Palunia on there. I think he would be the one to say, do you know what? Make him captain, and he would lead us out of the championship if the worst came to the worst.
No, see, I think that he'd be willing to stay if we retain our status. I think in the championship, considering his age as well, he's in the last couple of years.
Yeah, no.
I doubt he wants to spend the last couple of his seasons toiling in the championship. I've my doubts on that one.
Yeah,
he might just go. I can see him just going back to Bayern.
Yeah,
and that'll be it.
Maybe. We know Morani's alone, so he'll be going back to the PSG.
Yeah,
so he can go back there. Matez, Towns, Solanke, and Richarlison. Can I just say very quickly, I only put Tell there because I think Solanke has played in the championship, so he knows what it's about. And I think Richarlison doesn't want to go, so I think he'll stay wherever.
I think Tell already looks like he wants to leave, and he already looks like he doesn't really want to stay. I think I agree with you. I think Solanke is the most likely of those three to stay because he has played in the championship. I think Richarlison will go. I feel differently about Richarlison than a lot of people. I don't see this kind of passionate player. I think he's actually quite an egomaniac, a very, very selfish player, in my opinion. So I think
I agree.
I think he'll be out the door very quickly.
Right, just to break in the last sort of 16 minutes, Igor Tudor warned Spurs a new coach would not instantly turn the club's fortunes around.
Of course he's going to say that.
Of course he is. What does he think? Dumb or something?
Is he going to come out and say? Is he going to come out and say, yes, you should hire a new coach? You guys should hire a new coach.
Yeah. This is your Tottenham. Let us know if you want this, if you like this new Tottenham update show. Let us know, guys, in the comments. In the thing do you like this new format of us doing the Tottenham update show? Look, we meant to go only on for an hour, but we've gone for an hour and a half. So because the conversation got good. But let us know, guys. Do you like the idea of a Tottenham update three times a week? So let us know. I just wanted to get out there with the news today that's about tequila, and put it out there. And I just thought nobody's. Oh God, please no! Don't make that true, please no.
What?
Oh, there's a rumor that Ange could be coming back.
I'm not getting involved there, mate. I'm not even entertaining the idea, mate. Just.
I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. But for comedy value, just for your comment, just for comic value, it's like seriously.
Honestly, guys, where Dermo might be able to be okay with it, right? Because he didn't mind that.
I am not okay with it. Where
do I go from here? If that happens, what happens to me? Where do I go if he comes back?
Look, I'm going to say this now. It'd be the stupidest thing to do. It would be pathetic. You sack a man, and what are you going to do? Can you come back for 3 months? Because we did. Well, I know we sacked. This is a bit like I do a political channel, and I know something in the world that he's going to have to apologise, and it's on there. But it's like Lee Vinay going to Ange, right? Yeah, well, look, Ange, I know we sacked you in the summer, right? And we don't like you. We think you're a loser, and half the fan base don't like you. But yeah, we're sort of in a situation at the moment. Would you mind coming back and helping us? If I was Ange, I'd tell him to go and take a long walk. I mean, if we wake up to breaking news, Ange Postecoglou returns to Tottenham to help them get, I think I'd just throw my hands up in the air, go, just get us relegated.
Just give up, mate. It would
just give up. I still do watch-alongs and everything like that, but I'll be looking at it thinking we're a joke. We would turn into a circus if that's to happen, but I don't think so. Do you know what? I want you to put a name on. I want you to say so. Do you think if when Tottenham sacked this idiot, which he is, I'm calling him the idiot now. That's his nickname, the idiot. I'm going to give you 3 names, and I want you to nail yourself to one.
Okay.
Harry Redknapp. Okay. Ryan Mason or Glenn Hoddle.
I said I wanted Harry Redknapp before Tudor came in.
Yeah.
So
would you bring the other two with him?
If he's not going into the jungle, which apparently he's taped it, then there's no reason, is there? Let him finish in Cheltenham this weekend. There you go. So you let him come off.
Finishes now. Cheltenham's done now. Okay. But would you have Glenn Hoddle and Jermaine Defoe in there as well as a back staff and tip? Would you gain as many Tottenham legends as you could to really get behind him and really get within that squad?
I'd have Harry Redknapp as the kind of figurehead, and I'd have Defoe and King. I think's done a bit of coaching. I know Defoe's done a bit of coaching. Get some of those Tottenham lads in. King, obviously born and bred Spurs. Defoe, obviously not born spot Tottenham, but obviously was a very good player for us. For well, I won't say I wouldn't say he's a legend, but obviously an important player for us. Get those two to do a bit of coaching, being in the backroom staff alongside Harry. A couple of months, bring a little bit of a feel-good factor. Teach some of these morons what being a Spurs player is about. Teach them a little bit. Get Defoe to teach them how to shoot the ball. Richarlison and players like that certainly could use that talent. Get King to sit down with Dragosin, try to teach him how to defend, stuff like that. Get those two boys in with Harry Redknapp overlooking the majority of it. Harry Redknapp analysing the characters as best he can in the short time he's got left, deciding which players do need to kick up the arse, deciding which players need an arm around them. That is what his skill set always was. And get him to let them enjoy their football again. Let some of the pressure come off them, and we've got a chance. But it needs to be done before the Forest game. That. If the change isn't made before that, we're done. In my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree, bud. I totally agree. Well, look, guys, we're going to leave it there. Big up to Mark Taylor. Have you seen the rumours that Spurs are interested in Dougie Freeman? I said, yeah, I have, but we will wait for more information on that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you'd like us to do this again. Keep it going. Probably 3 times a week, do these updates in the afternoon. But Tequila, where can people find you this evening, sir?
You can find me on the No Cell Wrestling channel. We do one show on a Wednesday. And you guys can find me on the Play Pouch, where I'll be streaming some more State of Decay, probably about 9:30 after I've done Dermo's Irish football channel, which I'll be on at 8, I think.
8 o'clock. Yeah. Do join us on Ireland Till We Die. We're on there tonight. We are talking all things Old Firm. We're talking everything bar Tottenham tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow there is the build-up show. Monday, we have Billy on from Change for Tottenham on Monday, so that's been moved to then. And then, of course, we've got the build-up show tomorrow, Sunday. Then we've got all your watch-alongs after the whistle, everything to do with that. There will be 2 shows tomorrow, one at 5 o'clock, I think, with the predicted lineup, and then we're going on at 8 with the build-up show, and then we're on at 4 for the watch-along, and then we're on then afterwards for after the whistle. And then if any news breaks after that, if the manager's been sacked or a new manager's been announced, of course, we'll bring to you first and fastest, as we always do. But thanks for watching, guys, and do us a favor, do like and subscribe. We're on the march to 3K, and we're sort of well on there now. So come on, let's get there for the end of the season. Really, do we get the 3K before Tottenham get relegated? But we will find out. See you later. Island Till We Die. Join us at 8. Goodbye.